welcome to an all-new episode of Thank You Very Much. I am with Quasia.
Hey! Thank you very much.
I just want to apologize to you guys because I stepped away from this for a little bit, but because I really needed to, I didn't have my head in the game how I like to. I was trying to, as you guys know, start other projects, and if you guys listen, to all the episodes, you could tell that I am a pretty chaotic person. I'm all over the place, and it just is hard for me to focus in on one thing, especially when my mind is constantly coming up with new ideas or new ways to improve things, and I'm definitely working on it. But I'm just really happy to be back, Quasia. I really appreciate you doing this for me because I needed to feel like comfortable coming back in. Like, I did record a few episodes and I just wasn't happy with them, so I just was like, why put them out? So I'm happy to be here. Quasia, please tell the audience who you are.
Hey guys! Okay, so firstly, Sapphira, thank you for having me. I'm literally honored. Like, she asked me to be on her podcast, and I feel like I have a lot to say, but until someone is like, come, you have something to bring to the table. Like, I'm feeling really good. I'm Quasia. We went to Learn to Earn together.
R.I.P. Learn to Earn, man.
Rest in peace to Learn to Earn. If you wasn't there, you wasn't there.
And it was a great program.
It was an amazing program. I think it set us up for our future, just in like networking and like getting to know people. I think it made us really comfortable in that.
And independent too.
Definitely. I am a social media manager. I graduated from UAlbany in 2015, and I thought I was going to be an entertainment lawyer. I was really sure about it. And I graduated from UAlbany with a bachelor's and my business degree, and I was like, I'm not going to be an accountant. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to be a finance person. I'm not going to do these things. I wanted to be an entertainment lawyer, and I had got my minor and my major in business, and I thought that was a really good start for being in business. And when I went into working at Iman Cosmetics, J Mayo Beauty, I was the marketing coordinator, and I was having too much of a blast in marketing. Yeah. And I never went back to school. No. Yeah.
It's crazy how things could fall into your lap. Yeah. But I'm going to do a deep dive into Quasia's life in a bit. I have to catch up with you guys. So, I'm gonna just free ball some numbers here. Like, 58% of America, I'm probably actually low with these numbers. I spent Valentine's Day, not alone technically, but alone, like I didn't have a date and I didn't go out, which is kind of like normal to me. Cheers, too. This is a Moscow Mule because Quasia likes Moscow
I love
them. I didn't go out. I'm not really like butthurt about Valentine's Day anymore because it's just like after you spend a few years not doing it, it's kind of like just another day. And you're just like online, like, what y'all doing? Like, it's cool. Yeah, it's not like the craziest thing. But I was like walking around like by my job because I work in Soho, and I seen, a whole bunch of cute couples of people walking by with flowers and balloons, and I was just like, could you imagine if this shit was twice a year? That's horrible.
It would be fucking horrible, right? That's a slap in the face.
And I text my friend like, hey, imagine if this shit was 2 times a year, because I know she like takes fucking Valentine's Day personal. So I would just text her that, and she was like, I would literally delete my social media. And I was like, people are so dramatic. But what did you do for Valentine's Day?
I didn't do anything, guys. I worked. I do have a person. I do have a person. How special was Valentine's Day, though? It was not that special. I think that we both had work. Work was over by 10, 11 o'clock. Valentine's Day was on a weekday. I don't think that I allow myself to get too caught up on... Like, if you don't do anything for me, do you love me on Valentine's Day? No.
Wait, you don't.
I don't get too caught up on the idea of like if
That's
we're
an expression of how you feel.
Yeah, I think it's important to make me feel special on other days. Not to say that Valentine's Day is not excluded. Don't get it confused. Like, I feel like any man who doesn't do anything for you on Valentine's Day, it just feels like, are you just ignoring the shit to ignore the shit? Like, it's kind of hard. Like, it's kind of hard to ignore the day. Like, it's flowers and candies and chocolate.
And it's very simple. That's why I be trying to, don't let social media confuse you. Valentine's Day is very simple. And somebody mentioned this. I don't know who said this. It was like online. It's probably a random person. But literally, when I see couples and I see them obviously coming from dinner and the woman has like a single rose, I be in my head thinking like, it's no way you don't think that single rose made her happy. Like, people that are genuinely happy with someone,
it's one.
Yeah, like, it's the small things. Like, it's about the thought that counts. And then on top of that, I was saying to my friends, I don't think that women take Valentine's Day as serious for their partners as they should. I'm not saying all women, but it's an equal day. It's about appreciating the person you love. It's no reason why you should be expecting the latest pair of sneakers.
And he gets nothing.
And he gets nothing.
And he gets nothing. I
don't like that. I really don't like that. Like, to expect so much and literally just give him absolutely nothing. Like, I don't want to be corny or cliche and bring up vagina how most men do, because those men are haters. But
do you feel like the roles of women and men play a role in why women, like, why Valentine's Day is such a thing for women? Because I think that's just across the board, really. Like,
that women,
like, so many women feel like Valentine's Day is for women.
And I don't think so. That's just my opinion. I really don't think so. So many times, especially if you're dating a man, like, I mean, y'all dating. Y'all don't necessarily have to be going out, whatever the case is. But you guys are dating. More than likely, this guy is taking care of you, paying for everything every single time. So I think, and I'm not saying like you have to be like, oh, dinner's on me tonight, but just something thoughtful that shows that you were being like considerate of him and how he made people want to feel appreciated no matter what their sex is.
Do you feel like you've dealt with men who have made it like an issue that women don't do for them?
No, I dated one person that felt like nobody did anything for him. Like, he was a Leo too. Everybody, you know, they are worse. Yes. Nobody did enough for him, and that was just that. So, but whatever. I don't feel like in any other time when I was dating someone or seeing someone that they made me feel like I had to show up for them. Only his ass did that, and he traumatized me. So I don't like that.
That fucking Leo.
Yes, they're terrible. But overall, I just think that people should just women should sometimes just be a little bit more thoughtful and considerate. Because if a guy's going all out and getting you a whole bunch of flowers, not even a whole bunch, like, let's say this man is just, you know,
a single rose, like you said. I don't think that Valentine's Day should be gender exclusive. Yeah. And I do agree that sometimes it feels that way. It feels like Valentine's Day is specifically for the women. And it's just like, it's love day. Right? Like, men want to feel love, women want to feel love. I think that it should just be reciprocated. Yeah.
Like, if that man likes to shoot like camera footage, at least get him a new lens. Like, I mean, it's like the smallest thing. If you got him a new lens that was like $200 compared to, say, if y'all going out to a really nice restaurant, y'all drinking, y'all have a good time, that's $250. Your roses are probably $65 to $85. Like, no, I mean,
can I ask you a question?
What?
Do you feel like, because I think some people get caught up on this, but do you feel like it's important for him to spend more money on you for Valentine's Day than you spend on him?
I don't know. Like, I said, I have not experienced Valentine's Day in a while, but I'm just saying, I only said a camera lens because I was thinking about somebody that does photography. I just mean, like, just doing something thoughtful. Literally, you could get a guy a freaking sweatsuit, and he would still appreciate it. He'll be like, oh my God, you got me a sweatsuit. Or like, you got me cologne. This cologne smells amazing. You want me to smell like this? Like, men just be happy for, like, when they like you, they be happy for anything that you get them. And that's why all I'm trying to say is just like, don't get involved on what you see on social media. Don't expect for that man to have that hotel room decked out in roses. They are killing all the roses, okay?
Do you think that the scammers are killing love?
I think that it's a facade. Like, you should not believe, like, what's her name? Steph London, she just posted I seen on the Shade Room. Not that I follow the Shade Room.
I do.
But she just posted, like, young women, y'all need to pay attention to what's really going on out here. Girls out here selling their cat, living badly.
That's true.
And it's not real what you're seeing online. And I feel like it's the same. Like, I know tons of guys, not like that, but I know a few guys who, of course, they put up a facade online. Like, this man could run into $5K one day and spend $2K on clothes, another K on bottles and dinner.
And now he broke.
Yes. So my thing is, and you just don't, and maybe asking his friend to use his card to pick you up. Like, it's different scenarios like that. It's people that really can't give you $1,000, $500 at a time because they really don't have it. It's a hit or miss. And people are just like, they living for what they see online. I'm sure you've seen people discussing, like, don't try to shy away from having a real job. We need all these kind of fields to be filled.
Everyone is a boss.
Not just nurses.
If everyone's a boss, who's going to be a worker?
Yeah.
Everyone's not meant to be the boss. And I think that we apply a lot of pressure to people. Like, everyone's supposed to be, we're living in a world that's like entrepreneurship and being the boss. And it's just like, if we're all the boss, who the fuck is going to work?
Honestly,
for the boss?
I've been nobody there reconsidering if I wanted to be a boss at some point, because it's just like, it's like I said, I have such a hard time like following through. I'm gonna be honest, I have a hard time following through with my ideas. I get so overwhelmed. But as I told you, I'm about to bring up, I'm hoping that this new process can help me with that. But it had me second guessing, like, damn, Sapphira, do you want to just go back to school and find something that you feel is more your niche, other than, like, completing these things that you believe that you could do on your own? Like, I feel like sometimes people see something in you that is really hard. It's really hard to see in yourself. And I'm, like, still working on it, but I definitely have been considering, bitch, do you want to be the worker?
I genuinely feel that. Like, I feel like as someone who has been, like, struggling between, like, working a full-time job and being entrepreneurship and, like, going back and forth between it, like, when you're working by yourself, it's like, who's going to handle these, like, taxes and, like, benefits?
Yeah, I got an LLC last year, and I was like, I'm not doing my taxes myself again, because Lord knows, now that I got this LLC, I might mess it up. Any
type of income coming in, you have a guest on your show, you decide you're going to pay them. Like, you have to consider all of these things, and it's like, once it starts rolling in, it just be like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like,
and I went, and basically they were like, girl, did you use your LLC for anything? I was like, no, I ain't really getting no income. They was like, so you don't need to show us this. They was like, when you do make some kind of income, so you know, it's going to be extra $235 to also file your LLC. And I was just like, okay, hopefully I make a lot more than $235 off of this LLC. So it's just like, continue to do your research and, like, really buckle down on what you're trying to do. But let me proceed, okay? So this happened a while ago, but I spoke about this on a podcast that I never shared with you guys. But I have come to believe that not only young people are delusional with social media, also people our age are very delusional with social media. I have basically some girl that I went to middle school with. We bumped into each other a few months prior to this. We exchanged Instagrams. We were happy to see each other, blah, blah, blah. You know, it was cool. I get on the train. I'm on the D train. I don't know why I told y'all train, but whatever. Just setting the scene, because, you know, the D train looked real gritty. Like, so I get on the D train, and I'm, like, exhausted from work. It's like a cold day, even though it hasn't been too cold. It's like a cold day. I don't know, my, like, big green jacket. It's like 4 years out of season. I look crazy. I have on this hat. I'm just looking a hot mess. I see the girl on the train. I'm like, oh, you know, I see you. But I don't even say hi because we didn't make any eye contact. And I'm just getting off of work. Like, no matter how much you may enjoy your job, that shit is still like...
a job.
Yeah. So I sit down, I'm listening to my music. I'm like, I'm almost home. I get off the train. And sometimes I like to walk because I really be trying to clear my head. And just walking feels good. So I get off the train and I get a ping on my phone like ding. And it becomes a message, but then it comes a second ring like ding. So I see photo and I see it sent from this girl. So I'm just like already in my head, ain't no fucking way. That's all I'm thinking. Ain't no goddamn way. Like, that's crazy to me. So I'm like, it's like, it has to be something else. This girl did not send me a photo of myself. I open the message, it's a photo of myself on the train, looking absolutely crazy.
We
okay?
hate her. We hate
so,
you.
I write her back, like, I think I wrote her back, like, wow.
Yeah.
Laughing my fucking ass off. Because she's not a rude girl. She's not a mean girl. She's not, like, a neighborhood girl. She's, like, very skater, like, whatever. So I'm just like, she like, this is you? Like, bitch, who the fuck else was it?
You
like,
knew that.
Come on. And my thing is, you could have simply, asking me, was it me, would have got the same result as taking a photo and sending it to me. Like, you didn't have to do that. But I do be feeling like people know that I'm not aggressive.
So they try you.
So they do like things that are out of the ordinary.
I hate that.
And I was just like, this girl. So I was like, yes, that's me. Because what the fuck else am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
So she was just like, oh yeah, I was trying to say hi, but you didn't see me.
You didn't try to say hi, mamas.
I just thought it was rude. So please don't take photos of people. Not everybody's gonna react like me. And like, it's just a certain boundary that you shouldn't cross.
It's just like, if you add me on social media and I accept you, clearly we're good enough. We're good enough. So when you see me, feel free to say hello. And if you don't feel free to say hello, please don't record me.
Yeah, I just thought that was absurd. Like, I would never take a photo of somebody and be like, hey, this is you.
You knew it was me when you sent it to me, and that's why you sent that.
Low-key, I'm the kind of person, because I'm very Photoshop and I need to be angled properly. You know, I have this like
Get you together.
Yeah, I don't like that. My friends know I don't even want y'all fucking playing around.
Like, be cute. Like, yeah, let me get ready.
I don't hang around like people that take photos of each other sleeping. Like, we ain't doing shit like that. Do not play with me. Cause it's just like, please. Now all I'm thinking about is that photo of me in your phone. And that's it.
And all you had to do was ask me, and I would have probably said yes, and I would have just gave you a cute angle like this.
If you cared that much, and we should have got up. But I'm assuming you were tired from work too. So it was just kind of like, I didn't like that. It really kind of felt like violating.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I just didn't appreciate it.
The thing is, they know they shouldn't do that. Y'all know y'all shouldn't do that, right?
I believe they do.
They know. Y'all shouldn't do that, and don't do that.
But I just want to tell y'all that it's not...
It's weird.
Yeah, it's not for jokes. There are people that our age that have experienced life without social media that seem to act like they haven't.
Isn't it so weird? Because I think that millennials is our generation is the one generation who understands life with social media and life without social media. And I think that makes us very unique.
Yeah.
I think that we have a unique standpoint on everything because we understand that, like, you need the interpersonal communicate. You need that. But social media.
I had a small crush on someone. I have crushes on people because I'm a Pisces and I'm like, whatever. But I bought like these note cards because I was like, my crush is a little far. I don't have a crush on him anymore. But I was like, my crush is a little far, and if me and my crush ever get together and we're ways away, I'm gonna write him handwrote like notes. So I bought it to like manifest. It didn't turn out that way, which is kind of
enough.
No, yeah, I'm not disappointed in that. But because you build up people in your head and then they don't be like that. Yeah, yes. Exactly. So, but I do have these note cards because if I ever spend, because I do hope that at some point, whatever I'm doing in life, is like it causes me to travel and like work from different places. So I would love to send like handwritten note cards to the person I love. Like, I think that is so romantic. Like, if you're thinking about them and you're just like, even though we're texting today, let me just express how in this moment I thought of you. So I'm hoping that happens to me at some point.
It will. That's so cute. That's so cute. Y'all are boring.
So, as you guys know, it's Pisces season.
Hey, Pisces. I'm a cat, but
I know.
we love a Pisces.
No, yeah, Capricorn.
We love a Pisces.
I got a niece that's a Capricorn. Dominique's a Capricorn, my favorite cousin. And then I have 2 other cousins that's Capricorns. They young now. I know when they get older, I'm gonna fuck with them more. But yes, it's Pisces season. I'm so excited. I have this beautiful, beautiful dress that what's her name? Lauren London wore. It's like a little ocean blue like kind of dress. So I was originally, because I like to be realistic with y'all, I was originally going to do a birthday dinner until the bitch started adding up like non-stop. Like it just did not stop. And I was just like, do I want to spend nearly $2,000 or over $2,000 on a birthday dinner for other people? And I do have like something I am trying to save for, but I was also like, that $2,000 could go towards another, like my other business venture that I want to do. So I was just like, that's dumb. I'm not doing that. So I peeled back on that, because I'm gonna tell y'all, and maybe it's too late, so a Pisces can't really steal this from me. But y'all probably could steal it next year. Because the blue dress is like so beautiful, you could look out on my Instagram around March 12th. I'm sure I would have posted a picture of it. It's like, it was given like under the sea. So I was trying to do an under the sea dinner. Cute. It was going to be real cool.
Do it.
But
so,
no,
is it completely canceled?
No, I'm going to have a birthday dinner, but it's not going to be like in a place with a DJ.
Y'all, let's tell Sapphira we need the birthday dinner with the look.
I wish.
Yeah.
I really wish. Because I was like, I was on the phone getting a quote for some chairs and tables. And they were like $400. I was like, this ain't even with the venue. And I still got to get the DJ, get the food. Like, please. I'm okay. Another time. I'm looking for the man on Valentine's Day I will
pay for everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy you the sweater and you can talk about my birthday. But outside of that, I decided to go to this Italian restaurant. I'm not gonna say the name yet because I don't need y'all knowing exactly what I'm doing. But the restaurant it has been in New York for 100 years, which is crazy. And I think like that's so cute. Oh my god.
You wanna go? Okay. Go ahead.
No, you tell me what
is it?
No. Yeah, it's not there. Thank God.
That's right.
But it's like a really cute restaurant, and I really, even though I have nothing to do with the mob life, I really enjoy, like, even though, you know, Italians would call us, what they call us? Mongolis? I don't know. They were racist. So it's like a love and a hate for it. But I understand how important loyalty is, and I like to feel as though I'm a boss. Yeah. So I think that's like going to be fun, and I'm excited. I'm putting like mad pressure on my friends right now, and we'll see how it turns out. I'm excited though. I'm just excited to celebrate that time with my family. And you know, Tay's birthday is that weekend.
It's going to be a good time.
I know, it's going to be a great weekend.
We love Pisces season. It's a good season.
I know, I'm so excited. But outside of that, I was in why do I keep doing this? I was not in Atlantic City. I was in Atlanta.
Always been a while for me.
Yes. No, Atlanta's definitely the place you visit every 2 years, okay? They know how to suck you dry down there. This time wasn't as bad because I moved with intent when I was but Atlanta knows how to like really run you deep. I didn't do any like bottle service this time. Bottle service, it's normally not bad, you know, when you
it's like, how do you really go to Atlanta and not do bottle service?
Exactly. Where you didn't go to a club. Exactly.
You can't even sit.
They don't play that.
Where you gonna sit if you don't do bottle service? You're gonna stand
with the
You're
hood.
gonna stand.
But yes, I was in Atlanta, which was a great time. I got to see some friends that I love, just some celebrating. I played left, right, center.
I love that game.
Came up $172. And mind you, I didn't even want to play at first. I was like, I'm not playing. Like, I don't even got cash on me.
It took all their money.
Put me in. No, matter of fact, they upped the game to 10 a person. I had a 20 on me, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna play. Because if anything, I just lose $10.
It took Came
up off of that.
Thank you.
Played the game. Came up off of that. They was sick. They was like, why you even got in the game? But I was like, whatever. I left out. I was like, we're going to the bar. But it was really a good time. And while I was there, I prior to being in Atlanta, I was already having like chest pains. So I did stop drinking for like 3 weeks.
While you were in Atlanta?
No, before.
Before
I left for Atlanta, my plan was not to drink for the rest of the month. So by the time I got to Atlanta, it would have been 4 weeks, kind of like almost 4 weeks. So I stopped drinking for like 3 weeks almost, like whatever. So I'm just like, yeah, you know, I'm feeling good. I'm like, life is good. I love salsa water. This is helping me. I don't need to party hard. No. Got to Atlanta and went up a few notches. I mean, prior to Atlanta, I did have, like, me and my, you know, my family. We had, you know, Corinne and I, we had some people over. I forgot what it was. Was it football? No, it wasn't football because that's February. Whatever. We had some people here. We took a few shots. Oh, it was my niece's birthday and we had made a dinner and stuff. So I took 2 shots and I had a beer. Gone. After that 3 weeks, I woke up on the couch like, I can't do this. Either way, I was having chest pain, so that's why I stopped drinking for a little. Because I was like, yo, these chest pains are killing me. I cannot die. Like, that's all I have. I'm mad dramatic. So all I'm ever thinking about is like, I can't die. Like,
that's it.
I would be like, God,
I got some time left.
Life is too much for me. I just want to go. And then, like, the moment I feel any pain, I'm like, oh, no, God, not now. Like, I can't go now.
Whatever you do, I'm here to stay.
So, yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the doctor when I get back from Atlanta because, like, this is getting out of control. Like, I'm rubbing my chest. I'm like, you know, I thought I was doing okay. So, like, I shouldn't be feeling like this. So, I get there, and they're telling me, like, you know, basically, you're having panic attacks. Like, it feels like, because I'm feeling my heart, like, beating on the side here, and it's, like, coming on every now and then. I didn't tell them that some of the time I am high, because, you know, people hear you high.
They don't hear.
And it's like the 70s. Yeah. So, I'm just like, I'm not going to tell them that. But she was telling me, like, you know, I think you're having panic attacks, how you're saying they're being brought on, and, like, you thinking about your future. So, I get into these modes, and they pop up at night out of nowhere, where I just start looking out of my window, and I'm panicking about my future. Like, I can't even, like, begin to fully describe this kind of panic that I feel. Like, is anything worth it? What am I doing with myself? And, I mean, I could have had a great week at work. I could have went out for dinner, had cocktails with friends. Like, I could have lived a normal week of life and been happy about
what am I panicking for?
Yeah, like you're just a regular person like anybody else, but it's like, and my heart is just beating, and I'm like, just relax. So I found out that was the cause, and I began taking some pills. This is the second time I was taking these pills. I originally got them in 2020, but they made me nauseous. 2020 was a wild time. We was in here drinking, playing card games and shit. Old heads.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not taking no pills that's making me nauseous. So I just stopped taking them. But I didn't know I really needed them. And I'm really excited to see, I'm on Laxapro. I don't know if that's too much information, but I don't really care.
How does taking the pills make you, like? So
far, and I'm 3 weeks in. I'll be on my 4th week. I think on the 6th or the 5th. I'll be on my 4th week of taking them. One, if you ever do have to take antidepressants or anything like that, and they make you nauseous, have ginger, because I had to learn, like, one, I started eating before them so I wouldn't get as nauseous, but also ginger helps dilute that, like, nausea feeling. Yeah. And I'm excited to see how I feel in March, because prior to doing this with you, I was just like, I need this to be airtight equation. Like, I cannot be messing anything up like this. I need it to be, but I didn't find myself having the outer body experiences I normally have, where I'm just like, is it worth doing? And like my last one I did, that I never aired, I got up because I was like, I don't like this. And my friend was just like, bitch, calm down. You're losing it. But I got up like, I don't like this. I don't know if I should do this anymore. This doesn't feel right. Like, what am I even doing this for? And I'm like, I hope while I'm saying this that somebody could be like, oh, Sapphira, I've experienced something similar. Because
I've experienced something similar.
Because it's just like, you feel like you're out of control. Like, you're not in control of yourself, excuse me. and then you just feel like alone, like you're panicking in your mind and in your thoughts, and it's just like you just want to wheel yourself. And I remember one time my room was a fucking mess, and I just got off the phone talking to a friend about like how I'm trying to get my life together, and and I double backed in my room and I said, don't lose it. I literally told myself, like, do not lose it. Like, you're about to start panicking about how your room's a mess and how you're unhappy. Just get the fuck out of this room. That's it. And go. That's what you have to do. That's all I had to tell myself. So I will keep you guys posted with how the pills have been making me feel. But, like, all in all, I'm just, like, really happy that I decided to take them, and that, like, I'm doing this for me. Like, it's a big stigma around taking pills. And, like, I don't think it's nothing, like, the pills I'm taking, you don't get addicted to. They just put you in a better mood, and they put you in a more relaxed state. And I believe, I forgot what it starts with. It starts with an E, but it's supposed to bring that up. The, like, imethadone?
Don't get me though.
Yeah,
because I'm ready to say estrogen.
No, it's not estrogen, but it's like, it's a brain chemical that makes you happy. And it increases that. That's why it affects your stomach, because that's where that chemical originally comes from. So that's why you could feel nauseous and things like that. But definitely do your research. Talk to your doctors. And as I always say, really be completely honest when you're talking to your doctors. It's really important. Because, like, you'll never know. Because a lot of people, y'all know how I get about the food. But a lot of us, we eat crazy, and then we go to the doctor
and say we good.
And you're like, I'm fine. Whole time you having headaches. Yeah, thank you.
You got diabetes, babe.
And it's just like, it's really important. So I did have a few hot topics that I want to get on, but before I get on hot topics, it's trauma story time. Are you ready?
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
You ready for my trauma story?
Yes.
I feel like I have a few, but I guess I'll start with when I was working. I don't want to say the company.
No, please don't say the company.
So, guys, I feel like I said earlier, originally I wanted to be a entertainment lawyer. And I came out of college and I said, I'm going to work for this company because they are representing African American woman. Like, it was just so wrapped up in our culture, right? Like, it was really important for me for the company that I work for to be relatable and to be inclusive and to be something that a conversation I could join in. All of those things. But then also, I had been working there for 6 months, and my manager was white.
For a black company? A black, like, company with a black...
My manager was white. Which I don't want to make the big topic, but I feel like it's important to note because I think that it was hard for her to, like, connect with me. To figure out, like, what type of managerial style that I needed. For her to figure out, like, just how to even have, like, regular day-to-day conversation. And I don't feel like that should have been an issue, but it was. And we had a HR person who worked remotely. So she didn't live in New York. I lived in New York. And she was HR, and she ran the whole department. And she came to visit one day, black lady.
And how big is this company?
So this was a company, maybe we were like 20 people.
Oh, okay.
20 people that ran marketing, sales, operations, like every part of the company. And our HR person came to visit, and she was with us all day in the office. And she put me into a meeting. And she's like, we need to talk. I want to talk to you because all day I've kind of been observing, and I had, at this point, it was like some LG headphones that went around your neck, and they came out, and you can, like, put them in your ears, but then you can retract and they will go right back in. And we had a white executive, and she had the same headphones that I had in. the whole day, y'all. The whole day. And I got pulled in by an HR person, and she's like, I'm gonna talk to you. Like, you seem really carefree. You seem like you're really happy, and I don't know if it's because you're genuinely happy or if you don't care. And I'm like, don't care?
Yeah.
It's Friday. I'm bobbing. This is like chill Friday. We're kind of just like laid back. We're doing the work we have to work, but it's no
Friday,
pressure.
sometimes people dress down at work.
We're dressed down. It's Friday. It's giving Friday. It's giving we're vibing. Yeah, thank you. We're vibing. And she pulls me into the room and she's like, "What are these? That's like, what is this thing that's around your neck?" And I have the LG headset and they're retractable, so like the earpiece is pulling in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, it's headphones."
Yeah.
Like, it's just headphones. Like, they've been retracted all day.
Yeah.
They're good. I haven't really been listening to music. And she's like, "That's the problem. Like, where..."
And this is a white woman?
A black woman.
Oh,
she points to the skin tone. Wear this. Wear this. And we have to present ourselves in a better light. We have to be better. We have to do better. People are judging us. Like, you think
but she was judging you, I'm assuming.
You think you can handle that? That's the last question I remember. Do you think you can handle that? And I answered and I said, yeah, I can handle it. And I think that, like, as I progressed, like, in life, that's always something that kind of bothered me in my corporate.
And how old are you at this time?
I graduated from U Albany when I was 22, so let's say I'm 23.
Yeah, young.
I'm young.
Young.
This is like my real first corporate experience.
Yeah.
And I have someone who looks at me that's saying to me that, like, if I want to survive in this industry, if I want to be like someone who's respected, if I want to be someone who's protected, if I want to be someone who's seen, like, I have to present myself in this certain light because this is how.
Yeah. This is how she made it.
This is what I have to be. If I want people to respect me, she's like, "Listen, you're this," and pointed that you're this, and we're held at a higher standard, and we have to present ourselves at a higher standard. And I think that's the experience for me that I was just like, this is weird.
Yeah.
This is weird, and I don't want to do this, and I don't think that I necessarily have to do this, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want to put me in this light and say that, like, as black people, we have to be, like, more professional or more exceptional. And it's just like, we're already more of everything.
Yeah. But would you say in that case that they kind of used her as a pawn? Or would you say that, like, she was believing to look out for you because she felt like your attitude in the workspace was possibly jeopardizing
I think
potential?
I think that she was genuinely thinking she was looking out for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she was brought into the corporate world in a time where, as a black person, you have to maneuver in a way like this. So you think that you're dropping jewels on me, and I think that as millennials and as Gen Z, it's just certain shit that we just don't accept and shit that we won't tolerate. And I think that's hard for them to wrap their minds around. But I remember, like, hearing that and just being like, what the fuck?
Like, yeah.
That was my feeling. My immediate feeling was just like, what conversation are we having right now? Like, you're telling me that as a black woman, I had the headphones around my neck, and she told me, like, I'm telling her, like, they're just headphones, and someone else that was in the meeting had these same headphones, and it was not a conversation. This is Relaxed Friday. I can retract and detract, and we can go like this, and you won't even know they're on my neck. Yeah. And she had a conversation with me about how we're black women, and in society it's harder for them to accept that we're, like, exceptional and successful, and we have to present ourselves in a certain type of
demeanor.
And and I didn't feel like that was fair.
Yeah.
It was that simple.
It's definitely not fair, because it's just crazy how something as minuscule that, like, we can do. That's why I say all the time, a group of white girls can laugh in a restaurant, like, ha, 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 and they could be as high as hell, and nobody thinks, like, other than black women, but nobody else thinks, they're kind of loud. But if you hear black women, like, it's like, gosh darn, they're so loud. Like, it can't be that funny. And it sucks, because that happens so often, where you're, like, hoping for guidance within a workplace, but someone thinks that they're leading you in the right direction when they're a part of the people that are diminishing.
You're a part of the problem. Yeah. You're a part of the problem. It's like, I'm sorry that you had that experience, and this is not me trying to take away from your experience, but in the same note,
there's a new sheriff in town.
It is. It is. And I'm not accepting of what was accepted before. And sorry that you accepted that, but I'm not going for that. And how are we moving forward? How are we setting a different tone from the people who are watching us and looking up to us and looking for us to set a tone? And the tone that I want to set is not black girls is
like
difficult to be a black girl, or black girls, like, when you're in a corporate space, behave as such. Like, behave as everyone else behaves. Because I literally just made a TikTok. And I remember I went to an event. And my name is Quasia.
And please, wait, tell them your TikTok. Because it's really...
And this earthquake. And my name is spelled Taquasia. It's not, like, if you read my name on paper, it's Quasia. It's not anything that throws you off. And I went to a work mixer. And the white girl called me Tequila.
I like this TikTok.
Ha! Bitch, you didn't even try to read my name. And that's the problem for me. It's like, then you see their last names and it's like, Shochvich.
Yup. Some Polish, Slovakian.
And it's just like, for me, it's just like, did you try? And if I'm funny back with you, like, am I ghetto? Am I rude? Am I non-corporate? And I don't want to be any of those things. But I also want to prove a point. I would like to prove a point. Because if you can pronounce your fucking hard-ass last name to pronounce, you can say Tequasia. It's not no extra apostrophes. It's not any extra dashes.
Literally, it's spelled out Tequasia.
It's spelled Tequasia.
Yeah.
So can you fucking read?
Yeah.
Can you read?
I've honestly, in the past couple of years, made it a habit, because normally when growing up, even though my name isn't hard, like Sapphira, I mean, to me personally, you have to have a knowledge of how to read to say my name, because it's like phone, and you just have to have a knowledge. And then also, immediately when people see it, that like have any knowledge of Sapphire, they fall into Sapphira. Yeah. Or like, they'll say Sapphire too, but that's more of an effort than when I see people say Saphira or like stuff like that. It's just like, that's
Be
just
for real.
Yeah.
Be for
And
real.
I made it a habit that like immediately. Sometimes I don't even mean to do it to some people because I'd be so quick with it. They say Saphira, I'd be like Sapphira, like, or Sapphira, whatever the hell I be getting a lot of different stuff. But I just be like Sapphira, like immediately, and they be like, oh, I'm sorry, oh, excuse me, and I'm just like, oh, it's gonna be a little hard. I'm like, take your time, but Sapphira, like,
it's Sapphira.
It's just, I don't know, like, it's, of course, as we know, it's like really like passive aggressive. Like, they don't really care to know. They're just trying to act as if, oh, okay, I don't know. Like,
I think that's why I struggle a little bit, because I want to be corrective. I want to say it's Tequasia, but in the same note, I want to be like, be fucking for real.
No, yeah.
Like,
I immediately, because it's just like, why waste my time? Like, why? I need to get this across. So now when I know when you're really bullshitting constantly, I already told you several times. So
you know what's happening.
Yeah, like, every time you say it, I'm correcting you. Especially with white people. I worked with a group of white people previously, and one of them I was working with for years. And I just kind of felt like I was no longer and don't get me wrong, I still work with white people, but the company I'm working for now, the corporation I'm working for now, it's very, it's a lot of ethnicities, let me just say. Like, it's very diverse. So even though I am working with white people, the white people I'm working with, they're like far right, they're liberals. Yeah. So I mean, like, you'll run into your, certain people that are so tied up, and that's some white people's problem, is they're so tied up in politics that they think they're on the right end of things, and they're not, because they're oblivious to things, because they're thinking about how the left is doing them so wrong. They just think they fall into the category of minorities. But outside of that, my environment changed because I feel like I'm more so around people that at least try to be understanding, or they're so tippy toe that they just like they're so self-conscious about what they may or may not say.
Right.
Especially because I work in an environment with a lot of people with different pronouns. So yeah, it's trust me, it is something I'm working on it. But like regardless, whether I understand it or not is separate from respecting it.
It's a difference.
Yeah.
It's a difference. I work at a company. I started working full-time again 2 years ago. And I think it was important for me to go into a full-time position that I felt like y'all had some culture there. Like y'all were trying to be a little bit more proactive and having like these conversations. Because if I'm being honest, I'm very confused about the they, them, right? Like we need some time.
Yeah, it definitely takes time. At 23, I started working with someone like that. So and the way they treated me when they didn't do they, them, but basically I worked with someone who was their parent. Well, they was a girl, but they went by he, him. But they was also into men. So it was very confusing for me. And especially because mostly their appearance was kind of like a woman, in my opinion. But they perceived themselves as a gay man. So it was very like confusing for me. Yeah. But me experiencing that at 23, I feel like put me for like what I'm doing now for the future. Like this is 4 or 5 years later. So, you know, it prepared me for where I'm at today. So it's not easy. Like I even have times today where I'm talking to someone that goes by they, them, and I say she or he, and I have to go I have to wheel it back excuse me, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna just respect what
I'm not arguing with you about who you are.
Yeah, and I don't know what goes on, like how you feel. Like, so I can't sit there and be like, oh, because you look like this, I need to call you that. That's whack as hell. Because you got black people that don't like going by black. And if they don't want to be called black,
what
they don't
need to say. What we supposed to say? If that's not what you do, that's not what you do.
Yeah, so you just have to adjust to it. But let's wheel into why I brought you here. So, as you guys know from listening to the podcast, I'm very conflicted in things in life. I know occasionally I do say really good things that I really think I could toot my own horn about. But you know, sometimes you do need advice from outside sources, and also I'm not like, to me, I'm not like a leading example. I have great morals and great values as a woman, which I'm very proud of. But I've not experienced many aspects of life. And I wanted to bring someone, because that's what my podcast is about, is, of course, I love to bullshit and party and have a good time with my guests. But I also do like to get informed, just as you guys get informed, about things that take place in life and how to maneuver in life. And I chose to have Quasia on the podcast because I needed a perspective of someone who I've like witnessed through like the years that I've known you, and especially after school and after you graduated school, and how you was able to secure like a job that made you happy, but also leave it when you weren't happy, or have the experience of traveling because of where you worked, and like I said to you personally, but able to start a business on the side. Like, those things are not easy tasks, while also maintaining your own personal life. So I wanted to get your perspective for like people, someone that's not like me, someone that's not like a hot mess, but yeah, just get your perspective on like what got you, now that you're out of your 20s officially.
Guys, stop.
Now that she's out of her 20s officially, like what was that like for her? And like, what advice can you give like people, you know, coming, but like, let's go back to when you graduated. Like, like you said, what did you think you was gonna do, and how did you end up here now?
Okay. Life post graduate is not easy. I think that we should start there. I graduated from Albany thinking that I was gonna be an entertainment lawyer.
Yeah.
I went in doing my bachelor's in business. and I said I would do my MBA in marketing or whatever because I wanted to get into entertainment law.
Yeah.
And that was fun. And I was doing the classes and I was bored. It was that simple. I was fucking bored. Like, I was in financial accounting and I was like, there's no fucking way I'm sitting at a desk and I'm doing this all day.
Yeah.
I'm bored. Like, life can't be this. And I learned what accounting looked like and I stuck with it for a little while. And I graduated and I decided, okay, we're going to take a break.
Which degree is this?
So my degree is in communication.
Okay.
And my minor is in business.
Okay. And this is what degree are you getting when you graduate?
UOPNey. This is my bachelor's.
Okay.
So my bachelor's is in a major in communications and my minor is in business.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically in accounting.
I swore I was gonna major and minor in something, and I could barely major in
Real
anything.
cute. It's a very cute idea.
Yeah.
It's like a really cute idea, and then you get into school, you be like, what?
Hold on.
I was in the class like I'm mad bored.
Yeah,
I'm fucking bored. I'm fucking bored, and we're talking about like what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of my life,
yeah.
right? So I was like, okay, we're coming close to graduation. We're clearly gonna graduate, right? Like we've had the conversations with our guidance counselor about like how many more classes do I need to finish out this degree? We're good. Yeah, we're great. And yeah, I'm gonna do the entertainment law, and then I get into the entertainment law, and I'm having a blast in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working in beauty specifically for marketing. I'm doing makeup. I'm interviewing makeup artists. I'm interviewing Iman. I'm interviewing J Manuel. Like these are like.
So outside of just the interviewing, what else? Like, was it the socializing? Was it the creating the content for marketing?
I think that it was creating content. I think that it was like being at events.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it was being able to like be like, this is what we should do, and like we're doing it, and it's like, oh shit, I like
kind of foresee.
I created this. I created this. Like this is fire. Like that's what was happening. It's like they were really in line with what we wanted. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like, oh, you're mad young, you don't know what you're doing. It was like the young people know what's happening.
Yeah,
and they know it. Let's do it. Like if y'all want to do it, let's do it. And that was fire to me. And I started off as marketing coordinator. And so marketing coordinator was just being like the liaison between like the marketing team and our marketing director and saying like, this is what the team needs, this is what you need, this is what we need for events, and that was fun.
Question. I'm sorry. But like, so what you're doing, are you because you know we have a lot of content baddies out there. Are you the like person that are reaching out to people like, hey, we love your content. We want to pay you $5,000 to do this, or we want to pay you $2,000 to do this. Are you a part of that team, or is that someone else?
It depends on the brand.
On the brand. Okay.
It depends on the brand. So I want to say in 2020, COVID happened, like the pandemic happened. And I was working still full-time for Iman Cosmetics. Mm-hmm. And that was really fun. I had been for the company for like 5 years. And now we're in a space where like we're hitting this like real road bump. Like it was COVID. Like COVID was serious. Like we're in stores and people can't go in stores. And it's like, what are we really doing here, y'all? Yeah. Like how are we going to expand this business? What does this look like? Blah, 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 blah. And I had to make a real decision. Like,
yes, what are
you gonna do? Like, are you gonna work for these people full time? Like, are you gonna be in this full time? Are you gonna like think about amazing ideas that you guys can like
expand with? Well, because that's what COVID kind of challenged everybody on. Like,
it's like, how are you gonna
do from away,
from where you're home?
Yeah,
like what does the business look like? And that was really, really scary.
And it challenged everybody's purpose as well.
But it's just like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I never had plans on working 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Like never. I wanted to do a clothing brand. I wanted to do a book. I wanted to do anything that was not working for anybody full time. And I'm in marketing, so I can always think of ideas. So my brain is always going. And I feel like that's where I was going.
You're always ready to sell. That's why I always tell you about marketing. Everybody's ready to sell.
Marketing is marketing.
Yeah.
You know, like when I'm interviewing for people and they're like, why do you want to do this? Or like, how are you going to do this? And it's like, I've marketed for beauty. If I can market for beauty, I can market for skincare. I can market for celebrities. I can market for... And 2020 came and I lost my full-time job. I was still working with them as a contractor, but no longer having a full-time job. There was no more benefits.
Yeah.
That's scary as
no.
That's scary. That's scary as fuck. So here I am, 2020, and my job is telling me, come December, that's it.
Yeah.
From March to December, you're gonna be working as a contractor for us. So that's when I was always freelancing, but I was never freelancing full time. And come 2020, I was freelancing free time. So it was just like, okay, are you gonna reach out to other businesses? So now I'm reaching out to other businesses. I'm selling myself.
Yeah.
I'm a great marketer. Marketing doesn't matter. If you just put me here, I can do X, Y, Z. I can create content. You have to sell yourself. And I did that for 2 years, and that was fun. And then I started getting like really nervous about not being in a full-time position. Like, there's no full-time job. There's no full-time conversation. Like, it just started getting very scary for me. Like, I was just like, damn, like, it's no benefits. It's nothing connected to this. Like, I have to go out on a limb and I have to feel like, all right, I'm believing in this heavily enough. Like, let's just go for it. And I did it, but it was scary.
And when you did it, what did you fall into?
I was doing fully social media. So when I was working for Iman Cosmetics, I was running their entire digital department. And digital is advertising, it's content creation. It's so many jobs, and really it's not supposed to be one person's job.
Yeah.
And I got into it. It's not one person's job because it's advertising, it's making content. Yeah. It's so many things. It's community management, and so many things.
And content is days, weeks planned.
Content is like you're just shooting shit and you're like repeatedly looking at stuff like, oh, this is cool for this. Let's use this for Mother's Day. Like, you have to think so far in advance. Like, I'm looking at content and we're in February and I'm like, oh, this could be cute for Mother's Day.
I remember I was talking to somebody because, you know, my TikTok was very important to me at one point. And I was talking to somebody and they're like, yeah, I plan out days of my content. Like, my hair and makeup is done and this and that. And I was like, I'm fucking up. I'm fucking up right now. Like, like, it's like so ahead. Like, you have to really, that's why people get planners 2020.
You have, like, I have so many people that's like, I know someone who does social, like, reach out to them. And I'm like, don't tell them to reach out to me. Yeah. Tell them to reach out to me for what? Because one, they probably can't afford.
It's expensive.
They probably can't afford the work. Because especially black women, like, and sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry, because I'm not sorry.
Not sorry. Because
everybody has other people to lean on. Black women, when I'm having black women reach out, like, I wanna hire you as a social media manager. Chances are they don't have the finances to hire me as a social media manager. I'm reaching back and I'm saying, hello, I love your work. I'm like, this is the real conversation. The real conversation is, hello, I love your work. Like, I love what you're doing. I've done real research. I'm looking at your competitors. I'm doing all this stuff because at the end of the day, I also need clients. So this is not me saying I'm too big for clients because I'm looking for clients, but I also need clients that can pay me.
Yeah. 100%.
So I'm reaching out and
work is no fucking joke.
I need my money because y'all. I need my money because y'all don't pay for benefits and side work, and y'all don't care about all of that stuff because at the end of the day, it's clientele work. Yeah. But on the other hand, when I'm looking at it, it's like, as a black woman, I want to be able to give you the insight that I can give you. I want to be able to pour into you the way that things have been poured into me. But you jump into it and you're in the first week and like, people don't have like budgets for anything. And I find that,
at least from my friend that I speak to about that, people are not organized for what they sign up for. They don't understand that, not that it's an equal partnership because you are being hired to do something, but also you have to provide access. It's like, and I don't think a lot of people understand that, but what kills me is, like, nobody shoot me. Nobody shoot me. People are very more willing to spend a certain amount of money on their appearance as opposed to their businesses. And I just feel that in a sense of, people are very okay with getting their hair done for $500. But to set aside the money to like invest in someone proper to make something grow, it's not the same. Like when you hear, I had a friend who basically hired someone to do their website. They paid around $1,000, and they was expecting the person to do the bios for them.
And nothing.
Yeah, and it's just like, to me, that was a little crazy, because it's just like, this person is building your site for you. Why do they? And they wasn't, basically, the person I know, they didn't want to send any like information about nothing. They wanted this person to just come up with a free
like how?
Like, yeah, and it's just like, that didn't make any sense to me. Like, you're spending half of that on a wig and getting your hair installed, but like $1,000 to ask someone to just build your site and them asking you for feedback on how to put something together. It's just like the two doesn't relate. I'm not trying to like tear anybody apart.
The thing is, you're not tearing though, because I feel like it's important to note literally what you said. Like, when you're hiring someone to build your website, or you're hiring someone to expand your social, you have to think about what they do.
Yeah,
and you have to look at the work they do. If you're a person who focuses solely on social, and I don't necessarily want my focus to be on social, I'm not gonna come to you.
Yeah.
So it's important to note those things. When I went into social media marketing and I decided I'm going to work with this brand and I'm going to do this, originally when I went into it, the conversation for me was social media and Iman and Jamie and all those cool things. And I got into it, and I was just like, this is not realistic. And you have to have that conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm laying out and saying, this is what we can do, this is not a realistic thing for me. Like, when I'm working with this brand, I'm meeting up with them one time a month. Right? Like, you have to...
No, for real.
You have to have these conversations. I'm meeting with them one time a month. This is the shot list that I would like to have. These are the campaigns that we have going on. This is what I would like for them to do. And the first thing on the list for me is the things that we would really like for them to get crossed off the list. And 9 times out of 10, that's the brand stuff.
Yeah.
I need you to do X, Y, and Z for the brand. I need you to do X, Y, and Z for the brand. I need you to do X, Y, and Z for the brand. Then you're here.
Yeah, I don't think, like, when people hire freelancers, they don't think about how much, like, of the access of work that you need. Because 9 times out of 10, they give you a minimum amount of work. You come around and you turn around and they're just like, oh, this isn't what... And it's just like, I need more. Like, it's a two-way street. You want your brand to look like something. And sometimes you have an image in your head of what you want something to look like.
Yes.
And then when you see it, you like, damn. This isn't exactly what I wanted. This is not exactly what I seen. And that's why I feel like you have to go further than what your mind even imagines. Like, you really have to step outside the box so you have other things to pull from. But I don't know, like, it's just crazy. But to wheel back in, how did you incorporate, because I know you started your catering business outside of...
That was during COVID. So,
yeah, like...
Okay, here I am, COVID. And I guess my experience that was different from COVID was that, like, a lot of people went into COVID and they hadn't worked remote jobs before. That was not my case. Yeah. We had already been working remote. Yeah. So it was like, okay, now we get told we're fully working remote. We were already going into the office once a week, if that. Like, literally, if that. This is before COVID. So for me, I was already getting into the motion of doing my own thing, like trying to figure out what else I wanted to do outside of my full-time job, because I think that when you work in an environment like that, you also start realizing, like, when the company is potentially going underwater. Right? Like, you get in those positions, you be like, damn, y'all sales ain't... You be like, damn, y'all sales ain't that fucking good. Like, I'm paying attention. So it was like, that started happening with the business, and I was like, all right, damn. Sooner than later, this company is probably going to jump ship. Yeah. So it's important for me to start figuring out, like, what my next moves are. I love beauty. I really do love beauty. I do love makeup. I do love skincare. I think that's wellness, and, like, that's just everything all in one, right? So, like, I really enjoyed being in those spaces. I was interviewing makeup artists. They would come in, do my whole face and makeup, and it's like, oh, you're a makeup
fun.
artist. It was fun.
Yeah.
Like, it was fun. It was just like,
when you love it, and then it also incorporates something that's like,
it
makes you happy.
Fire.
Yeah.
It's fire. It's just like, you know, I'm having conversations like, what does like beauty mean to you? And like, why is, right? Like, I'm having those conversations. But then I'm also having the conversations where they're saying what we said, where like they don't feel included. Because these are women of color.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they're not feeling included. They're not feeling like...
Inclusion literally happened maybe 2019, if even that.
I was working for Iman Cosmetics, and we had... I want to say max, maybe we had 10 shades of foundations.
And then Rihanna drops 40, right?
We come out with 10 shades. This is pre-Fenty Beauty. We come out with 10 shades, and they're in the conversation when I'm working with this company at this time is mix the foundations.
Oh my Jesus.
It's mixed the
Hi guys, this ad is being brought to you by Type by Tot. Type by Tot has some of the greatest waist trainers in the tri-state area. I use mine 3 times a week and I'm always satisfied with my results. You can also find other items for workouts like detox teas. Check them out at typebytot.com. They told you to mix the foundations.
Y'all, they telling me to mix the foundations. I want to say that we had max 10 foundations. So to find your foundation, I'm dark skinned. I'm mixing like the light medium with the darkest of the dark.
Yeah.
To reach my color. And that was a problem for me. Like, we're a brand talking about being super inclusive. We're talking about like
being black.
And we're struggling to find shades of foundation that mix the women that we're representing. And that was a problem for me. Like, it's clearly limited on what you can, like, what you were able to say. I was in that space like, this feels wrong, but also feeling like there's a limit on what I can talk about, or like what people will believe me for, or like the spaces that I was feeling comfortable having these conversations in, and it wasn't a lie.
So with your feelings of how the company was representing itself, that also led to you like, I need to focus on my outside venture, especially if things are closely coming to an end.
I feel like COVID kicked in, and I was seeing a lot of businesses go under, like, just under. Yeah. Like, they were
the
like,
place I was at was under.
They were like falling to shreds. It was like no matter what they were trying to do, like the business was going under. And I was just deciding, like, in that moment, in those moments, I was feeling like, y'all are going under. I have to make a decision for myself, and I have to choose between me and myself. I'm choosing myself. I'm betting on myself. I'm not betting on y'all. Y'all are talking about these $1 million deals and corporations and just everything, and I didn't feel included.
Yeah.
And I wanted out.
So did you choose cooking though because you loved it, or?
I'm the oldest sibling. Okay. Yeah, I'm the oldest sibling of 4, and for me it was just like I have been cooking all my life, so I'm doing like all of the quick meals we know about, all of the spaghettis and the Alfredos and the quick steaks thrown in the oven and the quick fried chickens, and it was good food. It was good ass food. It was good ass food, and I was the oldest sibling, but in the same note, I was a little resentful and like overwhelmed. And COVID allowed for you to just be like, I'm not doing this. And I think that I took that opportunity to just be like, I'm focusing on myself a little bit. And this is not me trying to be selfish, and this is not me trying to be like, my family is important, or like what we've built is important, but like what I need for myself is
most important. And that's what I always say. I think like it is so, I think that you should not be selfish when it comes to, how do I say this? You shouldn't be selfish when it comes to like minimizing yourself for the ones you love in certain aspects. But you should be selfish when it comes to making choices that reflect for your future. Like, in momentary time, you don't need to be selfish to me. Like, it's okay to to put someone else before you. But when it comes to your future, always be selfish. I cannot like explain that enough, because people, whether you love them or not, no matter how close you are, people will always be selfish. They're always going to think of themselves. It's very rarely that you run into people, and rightfully so, very rarely that you run into people that are just like, and when they do, they're fucking stupid. Let's just keep that in mind. Anybody that's letting you run over them and do all this, they're lacking something within themselves that they're not putting themselves first. But it's very important that you put yourself first. Because, like, at the end of the day, somebody said this, like, no matter how much you love other people, you're gonna die alone. You're gonna have to.
And it's such a hard thing to accept.
Yeah, you're gonna have to face your own debts in life. You're gonna have to face so many different challenges that you will, like, a lot of times you want to turn around and you want to see an army of people, and you won't see that army of people because you have to. You don't share a social with nobody. How about that one?
You don't share nothing.
You don't share.
Nothing.
You don't share it with anyone, so you have to worry about protecting yourself. And yeah, it's just really important. And lack of words, it's really important that you put yourself first with all the decisions that you're making, because yeah, when you
have to.
Yeah, it's just really important.
You have to. It's scary. And you're doing like something different than from what everyone else is doing, because I think that's a big part of it too. When we talk about social, like, you get on social and it's like everyone's getting their body done, and like, right, there's a way that you're supposed to look, and there's a way that you're supposed to present yourself, and like, there's not enough conversations about women presenting themselves in like their natural form. Like, this is who you are.
Yeah. And
you can't do anything. You can't, if you really don't want to do anything else about it, you really can't. Like, if you're not being a person who's like trying to do something different with your body, trying to do something different with your nose, like someone trying to do something different with your face, like, if you're doing everything based on what society wants from you, like, you can't really focus on those things. And I think it's really hard to like,
and it like kind of eats you up to me, like, and I think it's so important to remain an individual. Like, I don't know if everybody else is paying attention, but like, you look at people especially white people. I don't know why this happens to white people so much, but it also falls into with some black people, because black people alter, like, that are obsessed with plastic surgery, they'll alter their nose and then they end up looking like white people. But everybody that gets plastic surgery kind of fucking looks the same. Like, in the end result, they kind of all, not diminishing plastic surgery. Nobody's saying that if you really have a disdain for your nose, for example, I don't find this happens with black people as much as it does with white people. But sometimes white people will have these humps in their noses. And I'm just like, bitch, if I could go and get it done too, I would as well. And there's nothing wrong with if you have small breasts, you want to get your breasts done. Nothing's wrong with that. But do believe in the stories that these women tell you, that once they look in the mirror, they start picking out other things that they want to change about themselves. Or they're falling into a stereotype of what's currently trending with their, like, social media and the world's perception of what's okay with the body. Because if you take it back to the early 2000s,
you can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, and it's just like everything changes. Like, and you shouldn't base your appearance off of anyone else's like preference. Like, you really have to learn to love yourself for like what you see in the mirror, and it is really hard. It's not an easy task. Like,
what do you feel like is like the easiest way
to love yourself? I feel like really looking at, like, I used to look at I know it sounds so corny, but I really am this corny in life. I swear to God, like, I'm not even playing with y'all. I'm really this corny in my life. Like, I look in my mirror and I do the corniest shit that you see in movies because I watch too much TV. But I look in the mirror and I tell myself, like, girl, you got acne. No, not even your aunt, but like younger, not me recently, but like my younger self in like high school and probably early in my college years, I used to be like, girl, you got acne. You see, like, God still like you. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not fucking joking when I say this. This is how corny this shit is. I would look at myself in the mirror and be like, girl, like, people like you. Like, and not only that, like, you have amazing like friends around you. Like the people, I would constantly tell myself that the people that like you. That's not gonna change because of acne. Like, cause that was one of my main battles growing up, was my acne, and I would feel like insecure about it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, for what? Like, people that love you and know who you are genuinely, and they see you as beautiful. That's not,
They
like,
love you regardless.
Scars are not changing that. Like, you have people, I'm not even going to name the different kind of disabilities that people have, but people have disabilities, and you walk around and you see them with, like, an amazing partner, and these partners love them because nobody fucking cares. Like, in reality, people don't care. There are, just so y'all know, all the people that like love surgeries, you get scars off of surgeries.
You do?
And it's the scars that are being edited out of these people's pictures, and there are people behind them that are loving them with these scars that they've brought upon themselves. No offense, but that they brought upon themselves. And it might be some scars that you have to deal with, that you were born with, that you can't erase, or
whatever.
Yeah, whatever the case may be. I've known somebody that got into they had a terrible like problem with their ovaries, and they had to get cut open, and they have a scar, and they don't know how to react off of the scar. And I promise, if y'all really take a look at this world, there are people that love people with the craziest scars. There are people that love people that are missing teeth. And I'm not talking about Blueface. There are literally people that have companions that are missing teeth. Like, don't think like what's meant for you is meant for you. And like what's supposed to be with you, it will be with you. How you look, and as long as you're treating your body well. Treat your body well by respecting your body, by who you are with. Treat your body well by respecting your body, by what you're eating, how you're taking care of your body, in the sense of, are you washing your back? Like things like that. Those are the
are you washing
things.
your back?
Is your hygiene together? Don't worry about if your boobs are big enough or if your butt is big enough and you go 3 days without wearing deodorant. Like, those are things that you need to pay attention to. Like, I'm gonna say this because who cares? I floss every now and then. My breath does not stink.
But it's not that deep.
No, but yeah, like floss. Well, I mean, I have tons of, if you guys were to see me, I have a few gaps in between my teeth. And also, I don't give, whatever, regardless. I'm not like a big flosser. But there are people that don't floss. And people love them. Not that I'm your example, because once again, my breath doesn't smell. But I'm just trying to make an example of things that are important are hygiene and how you express yourself. Not how big your breast is, how small your waist is. If you are aware of anything, there are men that are being loved with small penises. You know why? Because size doesn't always matter. This went a little left, but I was just trying to let you guys know that people are loved regardless. And I promise my breath doesn't smell. And you guys can meet me.
Yeah. It don't matter.
Okay?
And period.
But all in all, I had an amazing time. That's about time we wrap it up. I had a great time. Thank you so much for you.
Thank you for having us.
For my podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
We're not fucking around. Listen, y'all, it's Black History Month, and we're celebrating Black women in history and present and past. It's important to acknowledge all of the things that we have like overcome and underwent to be who we are. And I'm just proud to be a Black woman today and tomorrow and yesterday, all of the days before.
It's nothing I'm more proud to be, honestly. I swear to God, you can put, well, other than slavery, obviously.
Yeah,
you can put
skip
me
that.
in any time period, and I would love to be a black boy.
Let's skip slavery. Let's skip slavery. We're not fucking interested. And we might fuck you up behind slavery. Listen, we trying to be better, but we might fuck you up behind slavery. We want to be better, and I am, thank you.
No, I'm so happy you did this.
Thank you for bringing me on the show.
I needed a reason to feel comfortable and happy, so thank you so much.
As black women, we don't necessarily support each other the way that we're supposed to. And I feel like if I was going to show up on anything, I was going to show up here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was going to show up like full force here. Like, it's important for us to represent each other. It's important for us to like show that we're like representative and like.
And I just want to add on, it means a lot to have someone on my podcast that I've known for so long, that I've always seen as like, you know, like a model, a role model. And it's, you know, it's important to get understanding and like help and respect from people that you like know and admire. So I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Quasia.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Bye.